I used to get so defensive and like, oh my God, the littlest thing would set me off. And I would snap back at people for no good reason, really, when I think back on it now. And sometimes I still do. I'm not perfect. But I used to think, well, that's just who I am. That's my personality. I can't change that. That came from this first 7 years of my life, and it's drilled into me. So what is that? Like, why? Why am I so defensive when someone's asking me a question, most times in a normal voice? Well, it's a trigger, and it's a trigger from past trauma. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about that. So I'm Jules, and thank you for watching this video. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what triggers are, how to spot them, and how to work with them, how to lean into them, and how to figure out the root cause of them. So if anything so far has resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel so I can reach more women, midlife women especially, in their journey to heal from various things. So my videos are all about trauma, addiction, midlife, stuckness, all of that stickiness, and I'm living it. And I want to share my experiences and also share my healing journey with you. So what is a trigger? Why do we get them? Triggers come from our past. They come from deep down. Experiences that we've had that didn't get resolved. So Dr. Gabor Mate would say that trauma is not the experience, it's not what happened to you, it's how you internalized it. And so triggers come from old wounds that are not healed. Maybe they're partly healed. You may have been working on this for a very long time, just like me. But I'm not 100% healed, and I don't think I ever will be. This is a lifelong journey, and that is proven by many, many doctors in the field of trauma, addiction, all of that stuff. So your nervous system is trying to keep you safe, and so when you go through an experience that was not resolved in a healthy manner, it gets stuck. It becomes trauma, and it comes up, and it gets triggered. So a good example of that is when someone like me, who has become extremely independent, which is also a trauma response. There's nothing wrong with being independent, but when you're extremely independent and you don't like people to help you, there's a reason behind that. And so when someone will ask me if I need help with something, oh my God, I think I'm better than I used to be. Ask my husband. But I would snap. I would be like, no, I don't need your help. I can do this myself. And why can't I accept help? And that's because when I was a child, I didn't have help. I didn't have people around me to help me out when I needed help. I had to do it myself, and I didn't feel safe. And so doing everything myself was my coping mechanism, and that shows up now still in my life. And that's a trigger. And unfortunately, I still get triggered. I get triggered a lot. I just got triggered the other day for something really stupid, and I felt bad afterwards, but what's done is done. I don't like to schedule everything down to a minute, and I have a partner who does. And so sometimes when he asks me, well, what time do you want to go for a walk? I snap. And that's me being defensive for no good reason. And that's trauma. That's me trying to control the situation when it's not necessary. All I had to do is say, I can't give you a time right now. Let's talk about this later. And if you need a time, we'll just go for the walk on your own, and I'll do my own thing later. But instead, I get hyper defensive. I snap at him, for what? There's no reason for it. But yet there is. It's old trauma that's not 100% resolved. And so I would challenge you, actually, to think about how you react to what people say to you, questions they ask you. Do you sometimes feel like you're being poked like a bear? Do you get defensive about it? Do you react in a way that later you think, I don't really know whether I should have reacted that way or not? Like, think about those things and lean into them. Really lean in and say, can I figure out where that's coming from? Can I work on that, like, inner wounded child? So if this is a new topic for you, or you haven't really given it that much thought yet, you might be asking yourself, well, how do I even know I'm being triggered? So stick around, because I'm going to talk to you about that right now. So there are many ways that you can figure out whether you're being triggered, but I'm going to talk about 3. Your body reacts before your brain does. So that's the defensiveness. Like, you blurt something out before you even realize that you did it. And then it's too late. You've already done it. You know, your chest gets tight, your breathing gets shallow, and you just blurt something out. That's a trigger. You're suddenly on high alert. So you're trying to prove something to somebody. You're maybe you think you know something that you don't, but you won't admit defeat. You just keep going over and over again. Yeah, well, I'm right and you're wrong, and then you realize later, well, no, that's not the case. But you won't give it up. You're just on constant high alert about something. And then your reaction feels way bigger than the moment. You know, going back to that defensiveness, like, why did you overreact? You know if you're overreacting. You know, maybe someone else might say you're overreacting at times when you don't feel like you are. It is not always your fault. Maybe that other person actually was triggered and then they blame you for being triggered. That's a whole different video, because that also happens. But pick your battles, right? So if you know that you are overreacting, think about why. Why are you doing that? Can you think about some memories when you were a child? Can you really dig? Can you lean into it and talk about that? So there are many different ways to notice your triggers, but those are some pretty obvious ones. And now what I want to talk about in the rest of this video are some ways to work with your triggers. So I'm going to talk about 5 different ways that you can work with your triggers, and, as Pema Chodron would say, being able to sit in the pause, being able to pause, not reacting so quickly. You still may get defensive. I still get defensive, but not as often as I used to. And so there's no shame here. You need to be totally compassionate and kind to yourself about this stuff. So if you're able to pause before reacting, you're not always going to be able to. There's a book that Pema Chodron wrote that I read, and it's great. It's called Getting Unstuck. And she talks about that. And but you have to work on it. You have to lean into it. And every time you're able to pause, you may not be pausing right before you react, but you react, then you pause. And then you're able to pause a little bit sooner and a little bit sooner. You can heal those defensive reactions and be reactive a lot less in that pause. So work on that one. Name what's happening. Say it. I'm feeling defensive right now. I'm sorry that I just snapped at you. I'm sorry I was defensive. Can you ask me that question again? Or can we talk about this some more? Or can I take a few minutes and come back? Because I need a bit of a pause right now for myself. Ask yourself, what does this remind me of? Now, You may have to work on the first two for a while before you're able to notice those things, because that's when you're digging a little deeper into your nervous system, into your past, into your trauma. And eventually, and again, this is also internal family systems, like no bad parts. There's the idea that we have many different parts inside of us, and there could be a wounded child, 7 years old, 8 years old, mine's 8, hiding in a closet. Is there a memory that is starting to pop up for you? It may not surface right away, but if you give yourself time, through pausing, through meditation, eventually when you are reacting to something, when you're triggered by something, you may be able to ask yourself, is there a memory behind this? And that memory may show up. And that's a wonderful part of healing. So write it down. Here's where I give my Breathe Mental Health Journal a plug, or any journal. If you're not interested in a guided journal and you like the empty page, grab a piece of paper and start writing. Just write your thoughts down. Get them out of your head. Get them onto a piece of paper. Look at them. Read them to yourself. Read them out loud. Sit with that. And then challenge those thoughts. Are they real? Did a memory pop up? Can I work on that memory? Do I feel strong enough to work on that memory right now? If not, save it for later. And the fifth one is be compassionate with the part of you that's scared. And if you're doing all of this work, pausing before reacting, naming what's happening, asking yourself what's behind this, writing it down, all of that, and being kind and compassionate to yourself, you will start to notice healing. You will start to notice healing. But get in the habit of picking up your journal every day, even if it's to write, I don't know what to write today. I'm tired. I have a headache. This sucks. That's okay too, because sometimes that's all I write. That's all I write. Even after considering myself a journal snob and promoting my Breathe journal, I created the journal for myself. You know, I target midlife women who are feeling stuck and stressed and anxious, but I still get that way. So here's the bottom line. Your triggers are not flaws, they're signals. And the more work you do, and it doesn't have to be work all the time, just whenever you notice yourself being triggered, lean in. Don't be afraid to look at those triggers. Those triggers are signals, and they want to be healed. So if you want more content just like this, hit the like button, subscribe, share with friends and family that you think this video might resonate with, and join me on my journey. This journey is for me, it's for you. Yeah. Thank you for being here. And one last thing. I do have a journal that I sell on Amazon. It's called Breathe, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm a little biased. The front looks like an ocean, beautiful turquoise blue colors, white. It's discreet. You can hide it in your bag, and it will help you every day get out from here onto a piece of paper how you're feeling emotionally and physically, which is a somatic way of healing, as well as what needs your attention on any given day, and mantras. And there's lots of room to write your feelings and your thoughts as well. So consider it. Take a look at my profile. I have it on Amazon. And consider my guided journal.